Hello, my name is Mrs. LaMantia, and I'd like to welcome you to the new school year, to Benjamin Middle School, and to music class for 5th grade. I'm going to be giving you an overview of what we will be doing in music class this year. So music class for 5th grade meets 3rd or 4th period. Your student is already in one of those two time periods. And we meet virtually via Zoom. There is a Zoom link on the Canvas page for your student. They will click on that link and be directed to the meeting. They will first go to a waiting room where I will see their first name and last initial, and I will let them in as quickly as I can. And then we will get started with our music class. Attendance will be taken, and attendance at music is expected. For the afternoon, there is a check for understanding Zoom, at which point they may join. It is optional. If they have any questions or want to ask me anything, they can join that. That link is also on Zoom under check for understanding. So for music class this year, we're going to structure it as follows. On Monday and Tuesday, we will be devoting our time to what are called the elements of music. The elements is the terminology and vocabulary related to music. So things such as rhythm and melody and harmony. We will be learning about by definition. We'll be able to identify and perform these various elements on instruments such as their recorder, which they all have at home. Once we're back in school, we are having a classroom set of ukuleles. We're going to be doing some virtual keyboarding, and then upon return to school, keyboards once we get here. And then we'll be singing throughout, experiencing those elements and terms of music. On Wednesday, we devote our time to history and composers. And at Benjamin, that study of history and composers begins in 5th grade with the Baroque time period from 1600 to 1750. And then every year they progress up to a different time period and go to the modern time period in 8th grade. So they get to go through over 400 years of history and composers. And so we try to really tie in what is happening in the world, not just looking at it from a musical standpoint, but trying to see how the music was impacted by the world around it. So we'll learn a little bit about the history of the time period as well. And then we learn about the two main composers of the day, which is Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach, and George Friedrich Handel. On Thursday, we learn about theater. We learn about the history of theater, the elements of theater, and then at every grade level, students will learn about 3 different musicals. In 5th grade, we learn about Lion King, the musical. We learn about Newsies. And then at every grade level, we learn about the Benjamin Theater Club production for that year. That production has not yet been announced. We always keep it a surprise and a secret, and we announce it in October. So that will be announced at a later date. On Friday, since we are learning virtually, we're going to take the opportunity to go on a virtual field trip and go around the world. So we might go to destinations near and far, from the Symphony Center down in Chicago to the Sydney Opera House in Australia and points in between. So that'll be a fun look at these famous arts locations, and we'll learn about the history and the location and the architecture, and it'll be a great way to travel the world. So for music class, they all have their recorder as well as a recorder book that I sent home with them, and they all held up their recorder for me today. So I look forward to us starting that very soon. I told them to have it with them at all times, and we will begin playing. Folder will be, they can keep their music in it at home, and then when we come to school, they can bring it with them there. And they, of course, have their computer because they're Zooming all day in class, and then headphones if they want. Sometimes I like having headphones because it kind of tunes out everything else so you can really focus, but I just put that down as an option. So for music class, in addition to their letter grade that they will receive for their Efforts in music class, they are graded as follows, and this is in all subject areas at all grade levels, and they are graded on a meets, exceeds, or does not meet expectations in this area. Performs well on assessments, completes assignments on time, actively involved in class, uses class time productively, and then encourages a positive classroom environment. These are the areas that they will be graded. I wanted to give a quick little shout out to choir. I'm also the choir director along with Mrs. Tepe, and we are going to begin choir, virtual choir. And choir is open to any student at any grade level. It's a great way to get involved and to interact with students across the grade levels. The only requirement is let's sing together. So we meet every Friday starting September 11th. We have traditionally had several performances throughout the year, starting with the Veterans Day Assembly in November and going all the way to graduation at the end of the school year. So all those performances are to be determined, but we're going to start the year singing together Friday, September 11th, 7 a.m. More information to follow, but if your child is interested, please contact me and we will get them set up on our Canvas choir page. And then also just a quick mention of Theater Club. As I said earlier, with Theater Thursday, we're going to give clues for the musical that we're doing the week of October 13th, and then we make the official announcement. The dates have been set for the musical, but all the rehearsals and everything, we will fill in that calendar. But we do meet on Mondays and Fridays, but those dates specifically will be released at a later date. And I will keep you informed of that through announcements and the bulletin that the office puts out. So that concludes my presentation. I look forward to a great school year, making a lot of music together, learning about music, getting to know your kids. And if you have any questions or ever need to talk about anything, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you.